In a significant development from Syria, former President Bashar al-Assad has issued his first statement since being toppled from power. Assad revealed that he was evacuated to Russia on the 8th of December as it came under a drone attack. He's actually explained that he had left Damascus that morning as rebel fighters led by the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham advanced on the capital. But Assad's written statement, dated the 16th of December, was actually published on the Syrian presidency's Telegram channel, and it confirms that he has been granted asylum in Moscow, where he currently resides. As we've been covering, Assad was ousted after insurgent forces launched a swift offensive, ultimately ending over 50 years of the Assad family's iron-fisted rule in Syria. My colleague Mohammed Ghazali has been tracking all the latest developments for us. He joins us live at the moment. Ghazali, what are the latest details you can disclose?
See, Parmeshwar, this statement is very similar to how we have seen what happened with Afghanistan president when Taliban had approached and made the advancement in Afghanistan, toppling his government there. Similar thing happened when Sheikh Hasina's regime change happened, when she was ousted from Bangladesh, and in a similar fashion. Bashar al-Assad, who is right now in Russia, has issued this statement on a Telegram channel named Syrian Presidency. Now, we don't know the authenticity of it, whether he sort of wrote that statement or who on his behalf wrote that statement. But there are some key points which he mentioned was that he was not forced to leave. Rather, he didn't flee from Syria in a kind of an attempt of face saving there too. And it was addressed to his supporters there in Syria, his army, his Alawite supporters there, that he didn't leave Syria in a kind of adverse situation. He is not somebody who will run from the battlefield, is what he was sending a message through this statement, that things went from bad to worse. Army started deserting positions and locations in Syria, and that is when his allies, the Russians, suggested him that he should be airlifted from there. And then he again raises the issue of Palestine and Lebanon, because that has become the central stage of this entire development in Syria, because al-Shara or al-Julani, who is the head of the HTS, who is right now in power or sort of running the government or interim government there, his position towards Israel, towards the Palestinian cause, is making all the headlines. And perhaps to counter that, Assad says that a person who stood with the cause of Palestine and Lebanon would not have left his own people in such a crisis situation. So it is an attempt for face saving as well, to address his supporters as well. We don't know about his fate yet, that what will be his next move, because he's been in exile now, because Syria has now fallen to rebels, and Assad keeps referring them in his statement as terrorists. So in a way, when the Western parts or the Western countries are trying to establish communication or back channel talks with the rebel forces there, Assad holds his ground by terming them as terrorists, and yet tries to align himself with the Arab cause of Palestine by saying that he stood for the cause of Palestine and attacks on Lebanon by Israel, and hence he is not somebody who's a coward who will leave the battlefield.